Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me here today. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the channel where we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. If you haven't already, make sure you make sweet love to that subscribe button so you're not missing any of these reactions, my vlogs about my mental health journey, my celebrity interviews about their mental health journeys, and so much more. If you missed it or you are new here, make sure to check out my new announcement. I am so excited to finally announce the launch of my Happiness Boost program. This is the course, this is the exact steps that I took to go from being on that ledge after years, decades actually, of clinical depression, addiction, self-harm, just being completely done with everything because I couldn't take the pain anymore, to now living a life it's happier than I ever thought was possible. This is the exact steps I took. And there's some amazing giveaways. Everybody gets some freebies, so make sure to check that out. I am going to be reacting to America by Tom MacDonald today, and I'm excited because I feel like I always kind of learn something about a different perspective when I listen to him, which is what I like. I don't need to just have my opinions fed back to me all the time. I like to think and I like to be challenged. So while I don't agree with everything that he says or everything that he stands for, believes in, that's the beauty, right? That's the beauty of America, is we get to have our own opinions and our own thoughts and our own viewpoints. I'm so needing just some food for thought right now. This isn't a Patreon request, but if you haven't, make sure to check my Patreon out. Link is in the description. Every single dime goes toward my mental health outreach. You get priority song requests. You get to jump on multiple live streams and hang out with me every single month. You get to see my schedule of the reactions I'm going to be doing for the following weeks. There are reactions that I do specifically for my Patreons, exclusively for them. You get behind the scenes pictures and video, personalized pictures, and again, so much more. So make sure to check that out. Link is in the description. Without further ado, let's see what Tom MacDonald has to say today.
Lately, USA is getting scarier. Half of the Americans I see all hate America. They hate the cops doing their best to take care of us and kneel for the flag and salt the soldiers that we're burying. I'm tired of the pissing and complaining. Why you living in America if all you do is hate it? You think it's brave to take a stand against the nation? Real bravery is dying for the right so you can say it. Dear America, what happened to Americans? Apparently no one's aware or cares that it's embarrassing. It's arrogance. Our greatest enemy was always slavery and terrorists, and now it's people in the country trying to burn the heritage. I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or liberals, it's mental illness. The internet—
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's mental illness. It is. It is become a mental illness. When you no longer can rationalize, when you can no longer look at facts and think for yourself, when you have lost the capacity to really look over things, that's a mental illness. And there's a huge problem because watching the news and arguing on social media, that overstimulates the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, or HPA axis, which 70% of people with depression show. So 70% of people with clinical depression have this, and going and arguing and debating each other and watching the news all the time actually increases the odds of that. So that's something to think about. I don't like to talk about politics, and I know I've had a couple politically charged reactions on here, and that was not intentional. That happened to be completely coincidental that I had several back-to-back. But I think that it's very sad that nowadays people feel like they can't make a statement, and if they do, it has to be aggressive and angry. I personally have no problem with people kneeling if that is what they want to do. I think it's a non-aggressive form of protest. I don't agree with it in most cases, but I do think that it's a way of just stating that you don't like the policies. And I don't think when you take a stand against the nation, sometimes it's more of a taking stand against certain policies or certain things and not hating America. I think that you can hate the policies, you can dislike the politicians, but still have love for the country.
The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you can say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America. Does anybody know what the hell happened to the Patriots? Lately this nation is so ashamed and hating itself. Did everyone forget that people died to pay for this? Ungratefulness, United States gave everything to you just to help. I just want to celebrate Thanksgiving with my family. I don't need your help to understand it was a tragedy. Can I just be thankful for my country eating happily without you trying to guilt me for the genocide and casualties?
I think that that's also very sad nowadays, that I am very much on remembering history, on remembering tragedies. But I think that if that's all we're focusing on, then that's going to affect our mental health too over time. And it's like when there's constant competition for the dominating viewpoint, that's going to keep your cortisol production high. And that's going to create obviously more stress, and it's going to be harder to deal with symptoms of anxiety and depression. Likewise, if you're constantly focusing on the negative, I have no problem with educating people about our history and stuff, but there needs to be a balance where we're having more of the positivity and more of the listening and the conversations and holding space for, as he was saying, time to just spend time with your family and not be guilted by people because these really tragic, awful things happen. And I think that there are absolutely issues that are worth fighting for. Don't get me wrong, there very much are issues that are worth fighting for, but living without empathy and compassion and the willingness to listen to other people, that's going to affect your psyche over time.
I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't black or white, it's conflict designed by the system. I don't need your pronouns, all I see is men and women. Kids are taking pills for fun while people can't afford prescriptions. If you don't like it, go. Hate it, then don't call it home. We don't need no violence, got no time for all you radicals. Screw your status quo, we're not animals. I won't kneel for the anthem, cause the flag is what I'm standing for. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America. You can hate the government and still love the country. The fundamental values of America are concrete. Republicans and liberals are dumb, to put it bluntly. They're labels that they use to create chaos and corruption. You can know the history and still be proud of where you're from. Every flag around the world is covered in a little blood. We started out United States divided is what we've become. If home is where the heart is, you should show America some love. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America.
You know, I've said it before, Tom MacDonald isn't what I would have went out of my way to listen to, because I don't like rap. I would have been judgmental and just not sought him out, or not looked at his face or his persona and said, oh yeah, that's exactly what I want to listen to, because he does have several viewpoints that I disagree with, and that's completely okay. That's completely okay for me to listen to a song and enjoy it and not agree with everything it says, because I do agree with the overall message that we have lost our compassion, we've lost our empathy, we've lost our ability to rationalize, to think. I read a really, really sad statistic that 92% of Republicans and 94% of Democrats now fall on the extremist side of the median. So when you have the median of where people fall on the bipartisan line, 92 and 94% of them fall on the more extremist side of that spectrum. And that's really scary to me, because people aren't able to see others' struggles and other stories anymore. It's become this us versus them mentality. And I don't like to speak out about politics per se, but public policy does affect mental health. It affects access to mental health. It affects quality of treatment. It affects whether that person's going to have a better quality of life when all is said and done. So I understand, like I said, there are so many things worth fighting for, but I just think we're fighting in all the wrong ways. And I agree with him. I just see the world differently. I don't even feel the need to apologize for that. I don't want to get drug into the hate and the anger and the aggression, because I don't think that that's how we are going to move forward as a community, as a society, as a brother sisterhood. I just don't think that that is how this is really meant to go. And I think that there's a lot of problems in this, because the cooperation of government between parties is now lower, because the left doesn't want to be seen as supporting a right issue, and the right doesn't want to be seen as supporting a left issue. And it's so divided and segregated. It's like he was saying, we started out United States, and divided is what we've become. And I don't like to think like that. I've gotten in trouble before, because I've always liked to hear how my opposition ticks, how they feel, how they think. Where can we maybe find some middle ground? Even if it's someone that I vehemently disagree with, is there something where I can connect with them and see their humanity? And if you're constantly looking for the bad, if you're predisposed to see someone as bad, so you're predisposed to see all Republicans or all Democrats as bad without listening to the evidence and the facts, you're now saying that your people are always right. And there's no world where any group of people are always right or always wrong. And I would really like to see more people sit down and say, I don't agree with you, and I know you don't agree with me, but what can we learn from each other? And when we learn why the other person feels the way they do, then perhaps we can start to have some progress. I really loved the "You can hate the government and still love the country," because I was saying that earlier in the song. And my dad had always said that freedom's not free, and somebody had to pay for it. And I might not agree with all war. I might not agree with what's being fought for, but I do, as I said in the last video, support our soldiers. I support the sacrifices that they make. I support our police and the sacrifices they make, even though I've had some run-ins with the police and they were not pretty. It would be easy for me to hate an entire group of people and justify it, because I used to be followed around all the time when I was a teenager because they assumed I was going to shoplift. I have been arrested. I spent 47 days in jail. I deserved it. But I could have this animosity toward the people that put me there. But I have friends that are police officers, that are military, that are on different sides of these major social movements that are going on. And I really enjoy talking to them. And I really want to say that him saying Republicans and liberals are dumb, to put it bluntly, is probably the truest statement. And I'm not saying them as individuals. I don't think that them as individuals are ignorant. I think that the movements themselves, the parties themselves, have become stupid, as he said, to put it bluntly, because they are. They're used to create chaos. They're used to divide us. And at that point, that's how we fall apart as a nation, when we're divided. And so I really want to know, if you could live in this perfect world and you could bring together both sides of any major issue, of any major political stance, how would you do it? So in addition to sharing your good, bad, and crazy stories here in the comments, as always, no matter where you are in your mental health journey, share your stories. It's how we shatter the stigma. But I also want to know, how do you think that we can really move forward together? What do you think are the biggest steps that we could take to move forward and to raise our collective vibrations? Because I I really want to hear about it. No matter what side you're on, whatever color your skin is, whatever gender you are, I don't care. I love learning about other people and their thoughts and viewpoints. And he was talking about Thanksgiving and just giving people the opportunity to celebrate with their families and not nagging. Look, I'm vegan, and obviously I celebrate Thanksgiving a lot differently than most people, and I will share information, but I'm not going to spend the entire holiday framing it as something negative when there's so much positive that can be taken from it. Is there something that I think is kind of horrific? Yeah, but there's a lot of positive that can be touched on. And if I'm loving and maybe share some of my recipes or educate people in a loving manner, then they're a lot more likely to listen to me, right? I mean, let's think about it from that perspective. Let's just take a second and think about it from that perspective. If you want someone to try something different than what they're used to, what do you think is going to be more appealing to them? Telling them that they're terrible and awful, or offering them a new way of trying it? I just really think that the attacking needs to stop. Share this video. You never know who might need to see it. Like I said, if you haven't already, make sweet, sweet love to that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up, of course. But I love you guys so much. I'm appreciative to Tom for giving me some food for thought, for giving me some different perspectives. Like I said, that I might not agree with some stuff. I just brush off. Okay, that doesn't serve me and I move on. But I'm grateful for having some different perspectives and finding common ground. So let's continue doing that here in the comments. I love you guys so, so, so much. Mwah.